Okay, perfect. So, folks, on the call, we're going to talk about how to actually get your team going. So, for folks who are on the call, who if you're not in level 2 yet, or you're in level 2, that's the process. How do we move this thing so we could actually get ourselves closer to the 180 and closer to um, people in the $100 system, the 1800? So, you're seeing this is pretty much what we start with, right? The little timid kitty. And we're looking, saying, how can I be beast mode in this? So I think we could definitely get to this part, even if you're newly beginning. If you're newly beginning, you're going, how do I get to being in the status, right? Where you're in level 2. If that's the big part of this, how do I get there? So that's the goal of what I'm going to show on this team build here and actually do live, hands-on kind of training for us to get the action done, as opposed to giving theory about this and then saying, hey, go tear this up, right? I want you guys to be armed with exactly what to do so you could actually do it consistently and start having results. So for folks on the call who don't know who I am, you've been invited to the Team Build training call, not quite sure who I am. My name is Kay Wisdom, and I'm kind of the spearheading the team build process here. So you'll have team leaders or team coordinators that you're working directly with, and I'm working with them in the sense to coordinate and spearhead everyone actually winning with this system. So to begin, to get our minds wrapped around why this is going to work, because I mean, sometimes you're going, okay, I hear it, but why is this going to work? And when you understand why it's going to work, I think you might actually be more engaged in the process because you know and you remember and you know the sequence of why this is going to work. Now, for folks who are out there, I'm going to ask a rhetorical question, right? Who eats burgers? Chances are millions and millions of people eat burgers. Maybe some don't, right? The vegans and all that. But aside from them, millions of people eat burgers and know about burgers. And so if you ask the question, what is the most popular burger company? You're going to see that McDonald's 99.9% top the charts at being the most popular burger joint. It is not only the most popular, but the most successful because of its implementation of how McDonald's go about to, in a sense, get its burgers out there, how it market its burgers, right? If you're looking at this little diagram, it says what restaurant sells the most burgers. We're seeing McDonald's top the list, right? Then Wendy's, Burger King, and then another one. So here's why I mentioned this. If McDonald's is so successful at getting something out there, what is it that McDonald's is doing? Because if you're trying to see who has better burgers, right? You're going to say who has better burgers in California. Not everyone knows about this In-N-Out burgers, right? And if that's on the West Coast, and if we go to the East Coast and we go, well, who has the best burgers? Not everyone knows about this Shake Shack. But guess what? Everyone have heard the word McDonald's. So that's what we're going to do with our team build structure, and why I think this is going to be an effective move for us to do it like this is to model the most successful franchise in the history of the burger world, right? Which is McDonald's. So what is McDonald's doing? And if you understand what McDonald's is doing and then you see what we're doing, then you could be more confident in the sense that, you know what, we just need to do the thing to make it work. So McDonald's, here's what they do. McDonald's have all little McDonald's all over the world, right? In the East Coast, West Coast, every coast, right? Even in different countries. And all it does is it use pooled advertising. This McDonald's over here doesn't advertise for itself. Say, I'm in Alaska, come to my burger joint, right? Whereas this In-N-Out burger, they advertise just for themselves. They don't advertise for anyone else. So if people, they don't get their advertising out to a lot of people, guess what? No one knows about them. Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say a lot of people on the call have never heard about this In-N-Out burgers. I've never heard of it, unless you're maybe in California, right? If you're in a different state, different country, it's like, who are these people? The same thing is going to happen when people are trying to market, right, individually and not being part of a team. Because McDonald's have showed us that they're more effective when they could brand every McDonald's by using shared food advertising. McDonald's sends out a commercial all over, right? On the TV, on print, wherever it sends it. But it doesn't say come to New Jersey's McDonald's. It just advertises blanketly. And then people go wherever they are in whatever state. That's the same thing we're going to use for our team build. So folks, it is really time to start our team build, your team build, which is you got your little McDonald's. You just started in the ATM process and you're going, how can I get a piece of the pie? All we got to do is brand the team build. And then whenever anyone puts anything out, guess what? People are seeing your stuff and they're coming to you because it's like, oh, this is all the same thing. You're not competing against an In-N-Out, right? This In-N-Out is going to compete with the Shake Shack. So if they put out a commercial, guess what? It's only for them. If they put out a commercial, it's only for them. When McDonald's put out a commercial, it helps everyone. So no matter what part, right? Someone sees your ad, sees your thing, they're going to say, I don't need to go searching around and find out a different place because they're all the same. So that's what we're doing with our team build. So we're going to start the process of, okay, how do we brand this? Now, first, before we actually go into the live hands-on training of actually branding this, so it's a team build that once people start marketing and start advertising, that people are just going to join because they see this at all being the same thing. To start this, we're going to talk about the back office. So if you're in motion here, we're going to talk about the back office. And particularly, we're going to talk about my positions. You want to go to my positions. My position is going to give you everything you need to know in terms of how your group is doing. So this is an orientation for people who are already on the call, have a team going, wondering where people are going to follow my team. How do I know this? So when you go to your back office of my positions, this is where you're going to see ATM level 1. And this is where you can see your entire matrix. Once you click on this, you'll see your top 3 people. And if you dive down in your top 3 people's spots, you're going to see their people and their people. So if I go over here and I say, oh, who does this person have? You can see they have 1 person, 2 persons. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to poll people on the call.
Okay, we don't see that screen. We still see your first screen.
Ah, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Eugene. Okay, perfect. Are we seeing it now?
Yes.
Yeah, we see it.
Thank you. So if you log into your back office, you're going, how can I tell where my people are? You're going to go into my positions. And I'm specifically showing you why this is, because at some point it's going to be impactful for you doing the team build. So you're going to view your matrix here. You're going to see your 3 people, if you have 3 people, right? If you don't have 3 people, guess what? These are going to be blank, right? And the goal in this call is to get your 3 people. So that's what the aim is going to be. But to go a little advanced into it, so as you're going and you're getting team members in, this is where you're going to find them. And if you're wondering if your team members have team members, you just click on their information and you'll see if they have their team members. This one does. And then you can further see if they have their team members. So if I go on this one, I could see that this person has 1 person and then they don't have another person. So I'm actually going to do a poll of people on the call to kind of see where we're at. And we like to use, I'm going to do a doodle. All right. So I'm going to do some drawings on the screen and get some things going. And then I need for people to be kind of engaged with this. You know what, folks? Let's see here. Annotate. You know what? In the interest of time, let's see if this does work. All right. You know, normally, folks, I know exactly where my buttons are. And this, all right, maybe we could do it that way. Perfect. Okay, it's let me do it. So hopefully, I imagine folks have seen on the screen. All right. You know what? No, nope, nope. right, we won't take our pen. We're gonna go get another blank screen. So folks, this is in real time. All right, so I'm gonna annotate some stuff on the screen. So to make this work, you start with you. This is actually you here. And you need 3 people to join in order for the automation to take you to level 2. Because the goal is to get to level 2. Because that's where you're generating the 20s and the 200 if you're in the $100 system. So you need 1 person, 2 people, 3 persons, and then collectively, when it hits 3, 1, 2, 3, that's when the system automatically upgrades you to level 2. So that's how this has to happen in order for you to get to level 2. So I'm going to ask the question if people could put in the chat for me. Where are you? Are you in level 1? Because level 1 means you don't have all your 3 people. You might have 1 or 2, but you have to have 3 people in order to be to level 2. Or are you in level 2? So folks, if you can put in the chat for me if you're in level 1. So I don't need to know if you have a member, don't have a member, if you're still in level 1 or in level 2. So let me see who's in level 1, level 2. You put that in chat for me, level 2. We got level 1. Okay, we got lots of level 2s. All right, so for the level 2s, here's why we wanted to find that out. Level 1, so mostly level 2s. For the level 2, I'm going to invite you to out. If you could reach out to me in our Telegram group or emails or send me a text and give me a heads up that you're in level 2, because I would love to meet with you for the advanced kind of team build process where I could show you how you can literally help your team and they can help you as well to go even faster. So for the level 2 people, reach out to me, get invited to the advanced training session that I'll put together to show you how to supercharge your team so they can help you and you could help them as well. For the level 1 folks, this call is directly for you in terms of how you're going to go do an activity in a sense, get you to level 2. All right. So now that we're off with that, perfect. Now, folks, for the folks who are in level 1, you're going, okay, how do I start this? It all starts here. All right, you're seeing this ATTM step 1. Now, just a quick check. Are folks still seeing my annotation on the screen? I need to get rid of those annotation.
Yes, we are, Kay.
I'm not liking that. Let's see if I could get rid of that. Or if anyone knows how I could do it, so I don't, I'm not trying to figure it out. I am not trying to do this anymore. All right, and see, maybe that's a good thing you don't use extra stuff that you've never used, because I'm just annotating like crazy here. Okay, I think we found an eraser. This is good stuff. All right.
Okay. And it looks like you can also tap them or something to remove them.
Tap them to remove them?
Now. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for that tip. Perfect. All right. So if you're in level 1, hopefully your team leader, the person you're tagged with, has sent you this information. It says ATTM step 1. And usually it's an email they would send you to say next step, and then you'll get to this form. When you get to the next step, of course, you're going to follow like it kind of dictates on here, step 1, step 2. But I'm going to even bypass step 1 and say, you know what, not even super critical, because you're like, I want to be able to get myself into level 2. So you're here on the call. Step 1, we'll have you go back and do that part. Step 2 is what we're going to focus on. Now in step 2, this is telling you about email marketing. And so it's like, why this email marketing? You're thinking, does it have something to do with autoresponders, spamming people? this is going to be the most effective and easiest way for you to start getting members into the system. The reason it's going to be most effective for you is because guess what? You have emails, just like I have emails over here. You've seen I have emails, I get spam, I get people emailing me, right? So, and you have communicated with people in the past as well. So you have a list of people sitting there doing a lot of stuff online already that you don't have to go worry about talking to your friends and family, right? Because remember, your friends and family, guess what? They're probably not in tune to these online things like you are. You're the ones who find these opportunities, right? And then you take it to your friends and family, and they're going, oh, another one of these online things. But guess what's happening with people who are emailing you? They're already familiar with the online world. They're already familiar with opportunities. They're probably already in one. They're probably in one that has been failing, or they don't know what to do. So they're stalled. So you have, in a sense, a list of folks already waiting to see opportunities that they could pounce on. So instead of you racking your brain going, how should I start this thing? You start with the easiest fruit, meaning the easiest process to this is to introduce it to someone else who understands this. Someone introduced this to you, you understood it, right? They didn't have to convince you. You're more in the opportunity world. So that's where we're going to focus on. You're in the opportunity world. That's how we focus it. So you literally are going to take this email. There's an email that's on here. And I'd love for everyone to do me a favor. Either write down in your notes or remember this. Well, it'd be good if you write this down in your notes or actually start doing it right now, where you literally take a sheet of paper, and on that sheet of paper, you put the date. And let me make sure I have mine. You're going to put the date, the name, contact method, and let me see here. Here's another thing. You're going to put follow-up. And this is when to follow up. And you're going to put done. So if you're an Excel person, paper person, you want to put this down. And you want to put lines, if you want to put lines, however you do it. But the thing is, you're going to put a date. Today's the 29th, 6/29. You're going to put a name. You're going to put however you did it, whether it be email, right? So I'm giving you ideas of how this could work. Email, whether it be WhatsApp or Telegram. Now you're going, well, what about Facebook? Facebook is such a big place, right? People go there to be entertained. They get lost. Just turn around on Facebook. They're lost by the newest, shiniest videos that show up with some cooking videos, cat videos, right? So you want an audience that look at information. It's just info only on Telegram, right? There's no shiny videos, right? Cats and not much distraction. Same thing with WhatsApp. You're sending someone a direct message. And of course, email is a direct message. So that's going to be the mode of contact you want to shoot for in reaching people with this email marketing method. You don't want people on Facebook because, like I mentioned, they're scattered. They're on there for different reasons. There's too much distractions on there. That would be a separate, in a sense, marketing strategy that you can employ. For this one, these are the methods of people you want to find. People in your email, people on WhatsApp that you've communicated with before, and people in Telegram that you've communicated before. You want to jot down their names. So you want to go in your email. Boy, let's make sure I can go back to my email. So you literally go back to your email and hit the compose button. You know what? And you want to go find people. And you don't have to stress about this. Literally type A, like recipients type A, and someone who comes up, click their name, put them on your list, and type a message. That's it. And send it off. So what message can you put in there? Here's a message right here. depending on how you know this person, right? If this person is someone you contact, right, constantly, you've reached out to them before, you've had conversations back and forth through your emails or back and forth on WhatsApp, right? Or back and forth on Telegram. It becomes easier to copy this message and send them. Now, this message is mostly slated for email because you can see it says it has a headline. If you're sending someone a WhatsApp message, right, or a Telegram message, it wouldn't be in a headline format. So this is a headline for the email. You'd literally copy it. And I'm going to literally copy it and paste it. That one's done. Then we're going to go back and literally copy all of this. Okay. If you could copy nicely, copy up to there. And you could definitely use a text, right? A text to jazz it up a bit before you send it. And we're literally going to paste it there. Now you can see there's a link there already. So you're all good. That link is going to be fine. And you're going to scroll down and change out and put your referral link there. That is literally your On Rescue or ATM referral link. So you're going, where do I find that? This is going to be the promotional center. You're going to come here, copy your link, go back to your email, and literally delete where it says your referral link and paste it there. You come down here, put your name. Now, I like to always put always. That's just how I end my stuff. However you feel comfortable, right? Cheers. Talk to you soon. And I put my name here. I literally put my phone number here. And that's it. Now, normally I put call or text. So they know, you know what, it's not a landline. Because, right, some people are on the landline. So just my preference. And I'm actually just going to send it. I'm not even thinking about it. We are sending this. We can find my send button. Perfect. Folks, that's what you do. To start this thing off, you give it no more thought than, you know what, people just need to see this. And what are they seeing? Let me orient you to actually what they're going to be getting. They were actually, the email I just sent someone is talking about emergency fund, right? Pique someone's interest. We have a guy in our community here, very good at scripting some marketing materials. He scripted this email and literally used it to get his folks in. And these were people in his email. So he sat there, sent out his emails. People responded to him. Not everyone, right? But remember what we talked about? Your goal is only 3. We're not shooting for the world. When people get this, they're curious, curiosity, right? Even if the message you're thinking, well, I don't like the message. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But here's what you're getting, that people are reading it enough to actually, let's open in this window, to actually get to this page here where they're seeing information about what this is all about. They're seeing testimonials, and they get an opportunity to make a decision on it. That's all you want them to do, make a decision on it. Either they're getting back to you or they're seeing it, right? And so this way, you're doing the McDonald's thing. Let's see. Remember we talked about the McDonald's things? We're getting this out in a streamlined process that people are seeing this. So guess what? There's another part of this team build that I'll mention to it a little later. But by you getting this message out, right? And we know we only need 3 people in with you, not the whole world. So at some point, no matter what, this person is going to see this information because of the nature of our team build. Remember we talked about McDonald's, right? McDonald's blasts this thing out for everyone. And then when someone else in passing, they're doing whatever they do, they come across it again, right? They're going to go, oh my goodness, I saw this thing by someone, probably can't remember, right? But guess what? Because of our team build and how we have this structure, your team coordinator who's above you, who you'll be helping your team as well, you'll have your 3. So guess what? You can't have any more. So you're going to be inclined So like I mentioned, and I showed you in your back office, when you go into my position, your team leader is going to go into my position and say, hey, I have 3 people already. Click that one. Oh, my 3-person, that 3-person. Oh, let's see, this person needs one. So guess what? Because they already have 3, your team leader is going to come back here and say, oh, this person needs 2 people. Oh, I have another person wanting to join. They're going to literally take that person's link and send it to the prospect who's looking to join, and the prospect will join with them. So that's going to be the power of our team build here, where we're doing shared pooled advertising. To begin with, you want to jumpstart, right? You want to jumpstart where you're at. Like this little McDonald's here, when it's first going to be built, they put a sign out in front of that McDonald's saying, hey, coming soon is going to be this McDonald's. I mean, they have to do that. This is like you, in a sense, by using this email method saying, hey, coming soon, James is going to be having his ATM system opening. Here's my information. Look it over. You like it, get back to me right away, because you'll be first in line, in a sense, to come in when the doors open and I'm giving away freebies, right? The same kind of concept. So the first thing you do, start using your email marketing and literally write down who you send these things to. Now, for some folks who are very organized, right? You're very organized. You don't need to write it down. You'll go to your sent box and you'll know you send someone, right? We just sent, okay. I just sent this person, Aaron, the message, right? So I'll know I sent Aaron if I use my sent. So that's for organizational purposes. But if you're not that detailed in terms of keeping a track of it, the thing would be to literally write down the date you send it, the name, how you did it, right? Because you're going to go, where did I send it? Where should I look for the response or follow up? And then you could literally follow up a couple days later, and then you could check this box here that says, okay, you did it. And then keep moving on. So every 2 days you want to follow up with someone, you set your pace, right? You could go through this and say, okay, I'm going to email 10 people out of my email list. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to hit compose. I'm going to hit AA. Aaron was the first person. Now the next person is Lydia. She's next in line to get the same email. And literally copy paste. Once you put that in a format, right, where you have your referral link at the bottom, you could literally copy and paste just the entire text. You don't have to, every time you're copying it from, let's see. So if you put this in a text format, like a text, you can literally change out all this information ahead of time. So every time you're copying and pasting, it's literally your information you're doing. And then just go through, copy, paste, and send folks that information. All right. So that is the first part to this. Now, a slight twist to this, a lot of people on here, have some idea of how to contact people. So you could definitely modify this, right? If you have no idea, you're like, oh, man, I don't even want to think about it. Literally, copy and paste it. Copy this being the subject head, copy this being the body, and just send it. Go through your email list and just send it all. Then go back and double check and say, follow up, say, hey, did you get the thing I sent you 2 days ago? Right? Because you're not physically in these people's space, right? So that fear of rejection, that, oh my goodness, I don't want to hear the word no, doesn't really come up because you're just sending an email. They're not interested. They either tell you that they're not interested or they either not respond, right? In either case, you have more than enough people, like you're seeing in mine, that you probably contacted, that's contacted you, that you literally, if you go to BB, okay, these are all the Bs. I go to maybe G, these are all the G's, right? So that's the first thing you want to do. Now, as you get into it, right, you're like, you know what? Maybe I want to give it a shot in terms of putting in my words. I want to say it how I want to say it. This is how I would want to receive it. Then this is where you follow your process of tweaking it to say, this is how I want it to sound coming from me. And then you could start maybe same thing. Put a line saying, this day I started with the way I want to say things. And then this way you could keep a flow of, okay, who's responding? What's the feedback you're getting? So folks, this is the simple, easy way to literally get yourself started with no stress. Now, I did see some twos on the call, and But the two's on the call. You're already in level 2 and you're going, how can I help my people? You could actually do the same step yourself because you already have 3, right? You could do this thing yourself. And then as members are coming in, you could assign them to one of your people. This just the same way I mentioned, you know what, you could figure out who's missing one. When you go to my positions, you can literally see who on your team needs a person. So you can literally assign by going through the same process, right? Taking 10 people a day, 5 a day, whatever it might be, blasting that message out. When people respond back to you saying, yep, I'm interested, you could literally have them sign up with your people. And that's how you and your people could actually progress. Because the goal of this is, and I like to think of it this way, that many hands make light work. And McDonald's is definitely a great example of doing that, where many hands make light work in branding McDonald's to the point where people cannot avoid McDonald's. And that's why you're hearing that they're the most popular burger company because they're so heavily branded. I think if we all approach this with the idea that we're starting and we're branding this by each individual person, right? Getting the message out for yourself, but also the leaders, right? Because if you're going to level 2, hey, you just bossed up, right? You're now the leader of your team. You have 2, you're waiting for your folks to come over. And by you continuing the process, not giving it, exorbitant amount of time, right? You're doing just the same thing. You're helping your team. Send out a couple emails. Someone responds. You're like, hey, you can join it with my team here. Because the email could be, right? Definitely change where it says, look at the video, and then it says, please get back to me if you have any interest, right? You don't have to put a referral link. But of course, for all the leaders who are in level 2, I'd definitely like to have a meeting with you where I show you some advanced strategies that this could be an automated process for you, that you don't have to really, respond, have conversations when people are sending you back an email saying, oh, I'm interested. You're going, okay, what should I do now? We'll definitely have a streamlined process to show you how you could do that. But if you're trying to help your team right away, do the same thing they're doing. You're sending this information out. As you get folks in, you're able to pass it on to your team. All right. So I'm going to stop there and encourage everyone to kind of go through all the steps. The biggest team build we're doing. So this step number 4, when you go there, you're going to see something for you like, what is this? That is what we all should be doing. But of course, I could detail that a separate time. That's self-explanatory in itself. But for everyone to get themselves going, right? Put your mask on first and then help someone else. Help yourself and send those emails out. Start doing it because it doesn't hurt to actually start the process now. Now, I did send this out, and I'm a fan of quotes. I love quotes. And this quote says, and let's get this kind of cleaned up a bit. It says here, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. I think at this part, right? Start where you are. You have an email, right? Use what you have. You have an email and you know how to send emails, and do what you can. We could all certainly send an email out. The other thing is, if you start now, you'll begin seeing results one day earlier than if you started tomorrow. So I'm going to put this out there as a challenge to folks, and I did mention this was hands off, to literally, after we get off the phone, off this call, to go to that ATM step number 1, the marketing hub, and click on, let's get my annotation, and actually click on step number 2. Go through this email because there's quite a few emails on here. See which one resonates with you. If you want to jazz it up, feel free. The important thing is making sure there's a link in there so someone could actually review the information that we're sending. And then put your referral link there somewhere, or mention contact me if you don't want to put your referral link. And then start sending out that process every day until you start having some results coming in. Because these people know you. You've known them. They see your email. They know, oh, this guy, I've seen his name before, right? You might have never met, but we all have emails where we see people come through our emails like, oh yeah, this guy. That's what, it's like meeting someone, right? The more you meet them, the more you get to know them. So that's why you're going to send them an email first. If they don't respond right, you follow up, because guess what? This is your second meeting. Maybe in a couple more days, you follow up with another email. It might be something you saw in our Telegram room, right? We have some results. Someone shared a testimonial. You know what? They got to level 2 in 24 hours, 48 hours, 7 days, right? They've generated $50, whatever it might be. That's a good way you could follow up. So you're top of their mind, right? Because guess what? People are not having results out there. They're looking for something, and they're looking for a system to help them. And they're looking for someone who is committed, right? And not going back and forth through different programs, who is standing steady to say, hey, you know what? I've seen that. So you stay the course with this, do it for some time, right? Don't give up in 2 days. You did this in 2 days and it's like, oh, okay, I'm done with this. Keep at it, because guess what? Someone is looking at you wondering, I wonder if this guy is still doing that thing. I'm sure you probably said that. I wonder if they're still doing that thing, because they're going to keep seeing this. The thing is, if you're in it, then when that person comes around, guess what? We're doing the McDonald thing. Now we are sharing all the people who are coming in later, because we did the work in the initial point that, you know what, we gather our 3, we're in level 2. Anyone who comes over, we're helping our team. So I'm going to cap it there, guys, and then open this up for questions and answers. And then we'll cap it for the night. So I appreciate everyone coming out. Any questions, just definitely feel free to unmute and let's just have a conversation around it.
Hey, this is Francis.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Hi. Oh, thanks. I'm really happy to be here too. Yes. Now, if they person has their 3, so then they're looking to see now if those people have their 3, and so at that point, you take your email that you've already sent that has your information on it, but then you take your information off and put theirs on, and just send it as though you were that person. Is that right?
Yes, that's a very good, Francis. Yes, you got it.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure that I have it right. Okay, good. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Perfect. But here's where I mentioned that I would love to meet with anyone who are in level 2, because then we can make that process even easier. So you're not copying and pasting and taking people's link off and putting people's link on. It becomes a streamlined process. So, you know, that's the easy way to take care of it, but a little bit advanced that makes it easier for you. So if you're doing that with your team, certainly go ahead and do it, right? Because you're monitoring it. But
Right.
I would
I
like
don't
to
personally
show-
have a team yet, but that's what I'm saying then. So I think it's okay. I mean, unless other people will object, to just do level 2 now, just to say what you do once you get further along and be able to do it. At least we'll know what step to take. I don't know. I just kind of would like it if anybody else does.
Okay, good thoughts around it, Francis. All right. So any other questions folks have? Any other insight you'd like to help the entire community with? All right. In the interest, well, you know what? I realize it is a Saturday. I appreciate everyone actually hopping on. So if there's no questions or everyone's pretty much clear on this process, I'm gonna just suggest just start hammering this out and get with the person who is your partner in this, right? Because that's how we're gonna tag team this. Because if your upline folks don't really know you, right? They don't know you need help, right? They don't know you need 3. You're very close, but they're not quite aware. Definitely get with them, because then it strengthens this process that you guys could be doing the shared pooled advertising. And that way it further moves you closer to actually getting to level 2. Because remember, I mentioned in this, I don't think I mentioned this clear enough. Many hands make light work, right? So if you're doing it by yourself, you're doing something that if someone else was to help you, right, then that cuts it into half. If you have 4 people, now that makes it a quarter amount, right, that you have to do. So the more hands you have on this helping you, it's just the faster this will go. So that's why you personally, if you're new, want to make sure you tap into the person who invited you, got you here, right? The person who's your upline partner, and tag team with them, because they're literally above you, right? To help you with your 3. If they already have 3, guess what? any other person they generate through the system, they have to pass it on to their team. And what better person to be in position to receive it than someone like you who don't have your 3, and to be in such close connection with them that you can say, hey, you know what's working on your side? You have someone coming through, okay, I'm ready to have them. So get back with them, make sure you tag team with this. We're all tag team this. There's a big team build that covers the umbrella of everyone. But if you want immediate, quicker results, right? You tag team with your immediate partner, and then you guys could tag team and work this and actually get this done sooner.
And so when a person actually joins, they are joining with